This is how to clean the SIG P320. So the first thing you want to do, remove the source of ammunition and rack the slide to the rear. Check to make sure it's clear, no rounds. Once you've done that, pull this all the way down, and just like that, and then you're going to release the slide. Whenever you release the slide, make sure you have the slide you're holding onto it, because it will sling forward, and then you're just going to pull it forward just like that. Once you get here, you're going to push and then lift up, and sometimes it'll get stuck. You just have to work your way around until you get that around there. And then all you have to do is just pick up the barrel right out of there. And that's technically all you have to do for the SIG P320. But because it's easy, we're going to take out this too. So the trigger assembly. So to take out the trigger assembly, all I did was put it back. So all I did, it's already down just like there. You're literally just pulling it out. Kind of jiggle it a little bit. There we go. And then I'll teach you how to put it back in too. Once you do that, pull the retention pin all the way out. Then all you have to do is grab these little notches right here and just pull it out just like that. This is going to make it really easy to clean, which is really nice. And then all I have to clean it are these little long Q-tips and then a rag, rag, and I have a Leatherman just in case I need any I need to take off any carbon. So I only shot about 20 rounds, actually what, 17 times 3, so almost 47 rounds, 50 rounds, give or take, so it shouldn't be too dirty. And all I'm doing is wiping it down. And then once you've given a good wipe down, you want to clean all the little nooks and crannies. Every little nook and cranny you can get to with the Q-tip, with the rag. And then you can even pull the trigger and it'll help get the spots to the left and to the right of the trigger assembly that are being hidden otherwise. It's really not that dirty either. If there's any spots that have carbon on there that aren't coming off with the cotton swab, then that's what I'll use the Leatherman for. I'll just scrape it off with the knife. And that's really it for this part. For the lower receiver, I'm barely wiping it down with the rag, and it's pretty much clean already. So that one's done. This doesn't really need to be cleaned unless it's really, really bad. And with the spring, I am just covering it, and I'm gonna go back and forth with it. And then for this, I'm gonna get, this is Hot's lubricating oil. I'm literally just gonna get a little dot, and then I'm gonna get my rag and spread it out. It's literally just the lightest coat on there. For your upper receiver, the big parts are gonna be down here where the bullet goes, where the extractor is, right there, and try and wipe it with a rag first. And go in there with the cotton swab. And if nothing's coming off, which nothing's coming off, put a little dot of oil on your cotton swab. And get as much as you can of that carbon off. See, even though it's just taking it off. This is the part that they're going to check whenever your gun gets inspected a lot from the range. And then you can use that same already lubricated cotton swab and just run it down the slide. That's going to be contacting the lower receiver. And let's see if this will come. You don't have to make it perfect, but definitely take off as much as you can. And that's all I'm going to do for the video for this part, just because I don't want to be redundant. Once you get to the barrel, you can wipe down the outside, which should be little to no carbon. This is going to be the main part right here. Wipe it with the rag first. And then you're going to be able to see how dull, like it'll be shiny on most of the part, and then it'll be dull right here. You can literally scrape that off with your nail or with the knife. Put some lubricant on there. Now it's nice and shiny. All that carbon's gone. And then inside, if you look inside, you'll be able to see carbon buildup. So you can have, if you have some sort of like cotton one or a brass, what is it, brush or whatever it's called, run it through. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it definitely needs to be better. Oh man, that was bad. And some people will say make sure it goes in the way that the bullet goes, but it's literally just cotton or like material, so it's not going to damage it at all. And then give yourself a check, see if there's any carbon on there. It should be relatively clean, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to run their finger down it. And for all intents and purposes, let's say all the carbon's gone, we'll put the gun back together. Whenever you put the gun back together, put the rear of the trigger assembly in first. Get the dog here. Rear the trigger assembly in first. then you're gonna have to push the trigger in just a little bit to the back to actually get the trigger in. And then once you get here, it may get stuck. You just push it that way towards the rear of the weapon, and it'll go down. From here, you're gonna see it's not a perfect circle. It's more of like a circle with a half moon in there. You're gonna get the retention pin, and you're going to make this half moon circle or whatever shape go in with this circle shape. And then you're gonna put it in, and you're gonna have to jiggle it until it like gets in there. Once you're to this point, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but you gotta line it up, and it's easiest to line up whenever it's facing this way like that, and then push it in like that. And then obviously to put it back together, you need to pull it all the way down. From there, we can put this down and go up to our upper receiver, place it there, and it'll literally just pop in, and then put the spring or guide rod with the spring in, and then you're gonna have to push it to where it's springy. And then for the SIGs, it'll seed right in there, and you'll feel it whenever it's in the right spot. From here, you're going to, I start in the back. I don't just put it right here and then, I mean, you can do that, but it's a pain in the butt. So just start it from here. Let's see if I can give you a good view. And pull it all the way back. Once you get here, it may get stuck or whatever. Just kind of jiggle it around until you feel it get to the right spot. Okay, and then you'll feel it, and it'll guide right on there. Okay. From here, we're going to pull it to the rear, and then place the slide lock up so that it's stuck with the slide locked all the way to the rear. And then pop that retention pin back into place. From there, you can release it and it'll be fine. So what I've noticed with the SIG P320, with the compact and the full size, sometimes whenever you get done with clearing, or get done completely with the gun, we have an empty magazine, empty chamber, okay? Sometimes whenever you go to put it in, which of course it doesn't do it this time, it'll get stuck like right there, and you can't push it in, push the magazine in. So if that happens, just lock the slide to the rear, and then place the magazine inside the chamber. And then once you get done with that, and you do it one time, it'll fix whatever the problem is. You don't even have to slide push the slide forward at all. I mean, all you have to do is just put it in one time with the slide locked all the way to the rear, and it'll fix it. Even if it's right here, you'll be able to push it back in all the way. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just go ahead and put it at the bottom or message me on my phone, it doesn't matter. But that is the SIG P320 cleaning, disassembly, and reassembly.